Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right. NASCAR Cup Series, race 20. What we got, number 21 on the season? Yeah, 21 on the season. I am 13-9 on my picks so far. Yeah, not great. That includes the All-Star race and the Clash as well. This is the first points race back at North Wilkesboro since 1996. This track has held 2 races a year from 1951 through 1996. This will be the 94th race in history. 1949, 1950, each year held 1 race. This track dates back to 1947. This track dates back to prior to NASCAR, when Bill France Sr. had another race team. Was it NASCAR Championship Stock Car or something? And they raced in 46 and 47. This track was on that schedule. So yeah, North Wilkesboro has a lot of the NASCAR history in its DNA. I mean, the rumor that there was a still under the front stretch stands. There was, actually, because it collapsed and we found it later, which was absolutely amazing. Junior Johnson owned this track back in the, not owned, but he actually, I mean, his teams, this was their training ground. This was when testing was open back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, when you could just basically test wherever you wanted, whenever you wanted. This was the stomping ground for Junior Johnson Racing. Tim Brewer has told stories after stories about how they would literally just throw stuff in the truck, run up to North Wilkesboro, run some laps, go back to the shop, do this. And they would literally take pieces and just form them, just create a piece. They talk about like different stuff for the front end geometry, and then bend it, make a new one, just bend just a little bit, go up there, run a few laps, test it, and just back and forth. And Junior would sit there with his foot up on the wall and just watch. So yeah, this track has so much NASCAR history. I'm glad it came back, but it came back because of the vision of Dale Jr. wanting to scan it for iRacing. Obviously, he reached out to Marcus Smith. Hey, can we go up there and clean it up and scan it? He agreed. He went up there and helped. There's pictures of the weeds and Dale Jr. with a weed eater, his group of people. And then COVID happened. And then after COVID, the state of North Carolina wanted to invest money into the state for tourism. And a lot of different venues got X amount of money for tourism and to, help rebuild themselves. And North Wilkesboro and Wilkes County was part of that. And with that, money from the state and Marcus Smith putting money in, we had North Wilkesboro back. The fact that NASCAR has had 3 generations of cars since the track was on. So in 1996, that was the Gen 3 car. No, Gen 4. So we've had Gen 5, Gen 6, and we're on Gen 7 now. So yeah, a lot of different cars. We've seen the All-Star race. I don't think what we saw in the All-Star race we're going to see in this race. We get the Window World 450, 281.25 miles, 450 laps around this 0.625 mile track. This will be the most laps ran in a single NASCAR Cup Series race ever at Martinsville. It has been 400 laps since 1963. Before that, it was less. So yeah, we've had all those races at 400 laps. Now we got 450 laps. 6 of the last 8 North Wilkesboro races had 3 to 4 cautions. I know, we have stage breaks now. We didn't have stage breaks back then. 1995, there was 2 cautions. 1994, there was 6 cautions. Can we be in that era? Possibly. I mean, 3 to 4 cautions and up to 6. 2 stage breaks has 4 natural cautions. 1992 actually ran caution free. We're not going to see that, obviously, because of stage breaks, which is fine. We don't need to see that. There was 2 cars on the lead lap that day, by the way. In 1994, I believe it was, Jeff Bodine won the last NASCAR Cup Series race with being the only car on the lead lap. So 1 car finished on the lead lap. That happened here in North Wilkesboro, the last time ever in NASCAR Cup history, 1996, Jeff Bodine. We don't need that either. I think the fan base will lose their mind if that happened. All right. We have no Cup stats for Martinsville at all. All-Star race stuff you can't even look at as a normal race. So, the tire. That is the Martinsville tire. Okay, Martinsville's a half-mile, paperclip shape. This is more of an oval, but what is it? The front stretch is downhill and the back stretch is uphill. That's kind of wild. So since it's the same tire as Martinsville, we're going to kind of look at some Martinsville stats. And then we're going to look at the stats of this package. Again, this package wasn't ran last year for the All-Star race. So this is the new short track package, the 750 horsepower, the low downforce. So we're going to look at the tracks that ran that, kind of those stats. We're going to base picks and fantasy lineup off of that. So the last 9 races at Martinsville, Ryan Blaney 4.4 average finish with 2 wins. Joe Logano 5.66. Kyle Larson 5.77 in a win. Chase Elliott 6.77 in a win. William Byron 8.88 in 3 wins. The last 2 races at North Wilkesboro 1996, both were won by Hendrick Motorsports, Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon. Ross Chastain 9.44, Denny Hamlin 10.55 in a win, Ryan Preece 11.85, Chase Briscoe 12.55, and Christopher Bell 13.0. Now, if you look at the last 3 Martinsville races, which was the 2 last year, the 1 this year, the 1 this year had the 750 package. Chase Elliott 2.66 in a win. He won the spring race at Martinsville. Christopher Bell 5.33. Ryan Blaney 6.33. Joey Logano 6.33. Kyle Larson 6.33. Ryan Blaney 8.33. Ross Chastain 8.66. And William Byron 9.33. Now, that short track package, any track less than 1.5 miles, including short track, road courses, but not including road courses on here. So we're talking about Phoenix, we're talking about Darlington, Martinsville, Bristol, and Nashville. Those 5 races, Ryan Blaney had an average finish of 4.0 and a win. Denny Hamlin 4.88 in a win. Ty Gibbs 5.66 in a win. Tyler Reddick 6.8 in a win. Christopher Bell 11.4. Carson Hocevar 12.2. Chase Elliott 13.6. Kyle Larson 14.0. Chase Briscoe 14.2. And Shane Van Gisbergen 15.0. Yes, in the last 5 races with the short track package on ovals, the road course king, Shane Van Gisbergen, has the 10th best average finish. He finished 3rd in the truck race yesterday. This guy's figuring ovals out. And this field is going to be in trouble when he does. Because if he figures out ovals and gets as good on ovals as he is on road courses, and he is not currently with a top-tier team, Trackhouse is not a top-level team right now, what is the future hold of this guy? I have a feeling he ends up at Spire Motorsports eventually. Just a hunch. What he's doing in the Truck Series, I think he does. I think he ends up at Spire. So yeah, it can be fun. All right, now we are 20 races in, 26 race regular season. We have a very close points lead right now between Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick. I know there's a lot of you, lawsuit guys out there. That's why Denny Hamlin's leading the points. That's why Tyler Reddick has his wins, because of the lawsuit and the cheating Toyotas and Toyota in the lawsuit. Well, here's the thing. Front Row Motorsports was part of half of that lawsuit as well, and they are currently 23rd, 24th, and 30th in points. Oh, wait. They're 1st and 2nd in the Truck Series yesterday. That's it. And I put a stat on X yesterday. Somebody was talking about that. Front Row Motorsports was winning truck races last year. Matter of fact, Front Row Motorsports, 2 trucks, Lane Riggs and Chandler Smith, actually had a better average finish last year. It's just Corey Haim dominated, so you didn't notice it. So yeah, they're doing the same thing they've done for years in the Truck Series. So this has nothing to do with the lawsuit. Bob Jenkins did not sue NASCAR with 2311 and sign a agreement with NASCAR and settlement just to get truck wins. The two have nothing to do with one another. You make basically nothing in Truck Series compared to what you make in Cup. And what that lawsuit cost Bob Jenkins, he's not redeeming that money in Truck. So the two have nothing to do with one another. The lawsuit has nothing to do with the way these teams are running on the track either. Anyway, Denny Hamlin 4 wins. He is plus 353 to the cut line. Tyler Reddick 5 wins, plus 329 to the cut line. Ryan Blaney 2 wins, plus 288. Ty Gibbs with a win, plus 227. Chase Elliott with 2 wins, plus 172. Kyle Larson with 0 wins, which is awesome. plus 156. Chris Buescher, plus 130. Carson Hocevar with a win, plus 125. Christopher Bell, plus 113. Chase Briscoe with a win, plus 104. Daniel Suarez with a win, plus 91. William Byron, plus 82. Bubba Wallace, plus 55. Austin Cedric, plus 32. Shane Van Gisbergen with 2 wins, plus 31. And then Eric Jones, plus 8 to the cut line. Those are currently the 16 drivers in the chase for the championship. Obviously, we got 6 races left to determine if Joey Logano can make up 8 points and make the chase. Can Joey Logano make those 8 points up, make the chase, and then pull a 2014 Tony Stewart and win 5 of the 10 chase races and win the championship? That would be super cool. I'm wanting 1 or 2 things to happen this year with the chase. I either want A, someone to win it with a race left, which is possible, or B, someone to dominate Homestead and have the championship in their grasp, a late caution, and then lose the championship. Basically, I want the same scenario that happened last year at Phoenix. I think that'd be great. Ryan Preece, minus 26. Hopefully he falls below 20th in points, based on the preseason bowl prediction I had. So he's got to he's only 21 points ahead of Ross Chastain for 20th. 21 points ahead of Mike McDowell for 21st. So we just need Ryan Preece to lose 21 points in the next, 6 races to finish outside of the top 20, and then stay there for the duration of the season. Brad Keselowski, minus 43. Ross Chastain, minus 45. Michael McDowell, 21st, minus 47. AJ Allmendinger, minus 50 and 22nd. Now, for a team that has 0 sim, 0 manufacturer support, 22nd points for AJ Allmendinger. It's not too bad. He's been flirting with right around between 17th and 22nd all season long. I know there's been a lot of negativity out there about Kaulig Racing and the Ram program. Rome wasn't built in a day, folks. If you look at what Ram wants to accomplish in the Truck Series, small steps. They don't even have sim. They don't have anything that most of the big teams have. They have to build all that. They're in the process of building all that. And they bought a lot of these trucks. These are not in-house built trucks. So yeah, it takes time to get a notebook. I think by next year, this year's more of a test season for them. Next year is going to be the real benchmark of where they're at compared to everyone else. If Dodge does, the rumor is they're coming next year. I think they are. And everyone's already been poo-pooing it because I love the fact that nothing's been announced. And they asked Chris Rice, and Chris Rice was like, yeah, we don't know anything. And everyone was like, well, they need a motor program. Well, yeah, guess what? No, there is another manufacturer called Toyota that doesn't have a single team build their motors. They do it themselves. Dodge could do the same thing. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see 3 Dodges in the Cup Series next year in Kaulig Racing. I think either one, they come up with the money for a charter, that's who's selling, or they run 2 full-time charter cars and 1 open car. I could see them doing that. And then in 2028, I could see another Dodge team joining. I could see Rick Ware, I could see Hayek, I could see one of these other teams join the fray to kind of get up the pecking order on their current manufacturer. I don't know if it'll be one of the big 3, Penske, Hendrick, or Gibbs. I guarantee it's not going to be Hendrick or Gibbs, but I don't see RFK either because Jack's tied up Ford. So yeah, I mean, there's limited to who they could go there, but I think long term, and I know fans want now. They want now. I can see the long-term plan of Kaulig Racing. I can see the long-term plan of Dodge to return to the sport. Yes, Ram is different than Dodge, but Stenellis North America, which is owned by Stenellis out of the Netherlands, owns both brands. The truck is their truck brand, the Ram, and then Dodge is their American car brand. So I could definitely see this happening. 2027 isn't out of the question to me. I can see an announcement in August or September, right around the time of the chase for next year. So that's just my opinion. But AJ's doing awesome. They got their notebook that's not associated with anybody else. I think the notebook they're building for the Ram program and for the Cup program they could use next year as well. Get that sim built, and I think this team is going to be in the conversation of winning races, look at 2311 and what Denny Hamlin said. 5-year plan to be a championship caliber team. They did. I think Kaulig and Dodge can do the same thing. You figure 2027 is, say that's the first year. 27 is kind of a test year. So 28, 29, 30, and 31. By 2031, 32, I could see them constantly winning races and in the conversation of making the chase every year of both cars. My opinion. Zane Smith minus 90. How about that? Zane Smith's 23rd in points and Carson as far as 8th. Wonder who's winning that. And we all saw the Carson put out the list of t-shirts that traded out for his. Totally cool. Love how they did that. I think Ryan Preece did the same thing at a dirt race or another race I saw, which is kind of cool that they're not, trading the drivers, get a free shirt. I love it. Riley Herbst is 25th in point. Or sorry, Todd Gilliland is 24th. We found out he is returning next year to front row. Riley Herbst minus 96. We know we haven't heard what he's doing yet next year. We know Corey Heim is taking over that seat next year. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. minus 102 and John Hunter Nemechek minus 102 and 27th, followed by Austin Hill, Alex Bowman, Noah Gragson, Ty Dillon, and Cole Custer. Now, if Kyle Busch was still listed in points, he would be 35th in points right now. That's the reason that I'm glad NASCAR took him out. I would hate to see him just constantly dropping. All right, NASCAR Fantasy Live. Now, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, I've used all my starts for them already. So they're not even in the conversation. So went a little different, a couple of these guys, based on the way they've ran. Got Ryan Blaney, got Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell, Carson Ostapar, and Chase Elliott are in the starting lineup. And in the garage, the first time I've ever done this on an oval, Shane Van Gisbergen. All right, the head-to-heads. So I got Ryan Blaney over Seabell, Chase Elliott over Todd Gilliland, Denny Hamlin over Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs over Bubba Wallace. And I know I've seen a couple, I see somebody comment on something. I was commenting about a different driver and they brought up that I was a Bubba fan. Yeah, I'm a Bubba Wallace fan. I'm also a Carson Ostapar fan. I'm a fan of a lot of different drivers. There's 3 drivers I hate in the Cup Series though. But that's beside the point. So yeah, I don't always pick drivers I like. I pick drivers who I think are going to do well. And in this case, Bubba's not going to. I don't think Bubba's going to be that well as Ty Gibbs. So I'm not going to pick him. There's no reason to. In the bracket challenge, yeah, my bracket blew up first weekend. So I was 10 of 16 in the first round, 4 of 8 in the second round, 2 of 4 in the third round. The video picks on round 2, I was 5 and 3. Round 3, I was 3 and 1. The bracket challenge is Todd Gilliland versus Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell versus Ryan Blaney. My initial bracket, I had Denny Hamlin winning it all. That blew up last week. So Chase Elliott versus Ryan Blaney is who I got winning. I got Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney winning this week, and then next week at Indy, I had Chase Elliott versus Ryan Blaney with Chase Elliott winning. We'll see what happens next week. All right, the 4 picks to win the Window World 450 at North Wilkesboro is going to be Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, and Chase Elliott. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.